Welcome to Monday, and it is raining here where I'm at in Tennessee. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. Yeah, that's the first song that popped in my head when I was taking my boy to school this morning was Karen Carpenter. So that's nice, right? That's nice. Let's see. We're going to go over some New York City fun. Everything's going to be free with Kami McDami. I said McDami. Mandami. McDami. A couple of little news briefs. Two aircrafts go down in the South China Sea. But the pilots ejected and they're okay. They got them. Which is a good thing, right? That's a good thing. Are women to blame for wokeness? I think they are a contributing factor, probably. Probably. Feminazis. Women's libtards. I think it's the whole woke agenda, or women to blame for the wokeness craze. Maybe in part. I think that there's a lot of factors going involved. Let me know what you think. LA under federal investigation for homeless fraud and corruption. Are we surprised? All the footage we've seen of LA or different parts of California, not just LA, of the homeless, and it literally is a crisis. If there is a crisis, that is a crisis. And we know how libs love a crisis. So they can get more money, more money, more money. And nothing ever got better. So I'm not even sure how many millions upon millions upon millions, if it's not a billion, that they have spent on homeless. And they're still homeless. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. Gas is just going down and down and down. This now up the street from me, it was because I had to get gas this morning, and I waited till after I dropped him off from school, and I got all the way back towards my place, and it was 2.40, something like that. But where I have to take him to school, I said to him, look, did that just say like 2.20 something? I was like, wow, that is amazing. So gas is falling way down all across the country, probably except in California. Somebody posted on X, they were still paying way over $4 a gallon. I can't imagine. I can't imagine right now because, oh my God. Latoya Jackson, her grandniece, is charged in Norfolk, Virginia for threatening the school principal to punch this principal in the face, called her, and it's a black woman too, the principal. Letoya James's grandniece didn't care. It's a black woman. She's black. That doesn't matter. I guess something happened with her kid at the school when she calls the school, cussing out the principal, saying she's going to go down there and punch that bee in the face, that bald-headed bee in the face, used a massive foul language, and she was arrested. Amazing. Amazing. That was just a couple little things I jotted down of some news that is happening in the country, and there's tons and tons of more news to be had. But that's just a quick little lowdown. This is Nate the lawyer. And he used to live in New York. And he's going to go over free buses, daycare, groceries, and defund the police. New York City's wild mayor's race. And he's going to break it down for us. And I thought this was really good take. Y'all need to check out Nate the lawyer. Go support his channel by liking and subscribing on his channel. He does a fabulous job of reporting this kind of stuff and giving you sometimes a breakdown of the law and things. Lately, he's just been more kind of like what I'm doing, I guess, or what a lot of other people are doing. But he does break down, he is a lawyer, but this is kind of, I don't know, I didn't watch all of it, so I don't know if he's going to do any lawyering in this, or is this just telling us the situation on the ground in New York and what the New Yorkers are facing. And my God, what a disaster. What a disaster. Mamdani. See pictures of him with the suspected co-conspirator in the 1993 Trade Center bombing. And also, this imam he was photographed with was also as a defense witness for one of the terrorists. He was a witness for that guy. Probably to say, no, he wasn't there. It's like, this is unbelievable. So either, well, it has been over 20 years, so you have a whole new generation there in New York. Probably a lot of the older folks have done moved out. Like Nate here. Nate's going to tell you he left. A lot of people had left. Y'all need to look up when Rush Limbaugh years ago had left New York. And they were, what is it when you get, for your taxes. So every year he's under investigation for his taxes and just harassing him every year after he left, because I guess they were pissed that they weren't getting his money. But he got the hell out of New York. And I think he had a building or something. Y'all can go research it. Not a building, like an apartment or whatever he had. And he's trying to get rid of it, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, New York harassed the shit out of him. So I don't know. Maybe because he got under the skin of the leftards at the time. They all hated him. They were glad when he died. It was pathetic. Talk about all these people glorifying the death of conservative Christians and things like that. A lot of them were like, they were glad. And this was before TikTok. I'm sure it would have been way worse. I guess it was before TikTok. I mean, he died during, I guess it was either towards the end of Trump's, I probably need to look that up. Well, y'all know when he passed away. Trump had given him a medal or something at one of the State of the Union addresses, and he had died shortly after that. But I don't know when TikTok came around, but it was brutal anyway. There were people saying they were glad he was gone and all this crap. It was terrible. Well, let's get into this right now and see what Nate the lawyer is going to tell us. And he's got some good stuff here. Good stuff. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Turning now to the mayor's race, where in an acrimonious blow-up, Curtis Sliwa quit his radio job after his boss and station regulars begged him to drop out of the race.
Okay, so let's talk about the New York City mayor's race, because it's crazy.
Yes, it is. It's super crazy. We all know it.
All right, I like to call myself a New York City refugee because I left New York City when it was getting really, really bad. And my two big issues were crime and the migrant crisis. For the migrants, I got pissed off when the city started spending hundreds of millions of dollars on migrants, putting them up in these luxury hotels.
The Row NYC, formerly the Milford Plaza,
How pathetic is that? They've had homeless people, veterans on the streets, psycho people. And here comes the illegals. Hey, let's put them up in a hotel. Screw the rest of the people that we already have. I mean, it's mind-boggling. Guys, that right there should tell you about the left. They don't give a shit about the people who are already here. They want us to implode. Why would you do this? Why would you bring all these people in? Let's put them in a hotel. Let's give them cell phones. It's insanity. Unbelievable.
used to be one of Times Square's most popular hotels.
Come on along.
They called it the Lullaby on Broadway.
Lullaby of Broadway.
But nowadays, Mayor Eric Adams has a whole new idea for this Broadway mainstay, housing upwards of 600 migrant families in a portion of this hotel alongside tourists and locals alike. The daily weekday rate for a standard room with one full or queen-size bed in mid-September, around the same time the hotel could begin housing migrants, ranges in price from $414 to $435 per night.
Good Lord. Wait, I'm still trying to comprehend what he just said. He said, he keeps saying migrants anyway. That's kind of annoying. Illegals in the hotel alongside tourists? What the hell? Who's going to New York for the last couple of years? Maybe I need to Google what the tourist dollars are like in New York. I mean, would you want to go to New York when all this mess is going on and all those illegals there? Hell to the no. You're going to you're going to go and get a room in a hotel, and you know they're going to charge you the top dollar to get in there, and you're alongside of illegals? What the hell?
Superior rooms with 2 double or queen-size beds featuring decorations inspired by New York City's subway system range in price from $445 to nearly $550 per night.
What?
Pricey? Yes. Of course, if you cross the border illegally, your stay is on the house.
You think that's bad?
Wait. I wonder how trash they are. You think they respected those rooms? Inquiring minds want to know.
Well, then when they said we're going to kick you guys out of the $400 a night hotel rooms, the migrants said, hell no, we're not going to go. We deserve the $400 a night hotel rooms. Look what we've been through.
Check out what happened in New York City last night.
Oh, my God. And this, Nate did this, he posted this 2 days ago.
The viral Paleo Valley meat sticks are on
Stupid commercials. Sorry.
market. There are
I
tons
don't
of
have
flavors and they're
premium.
Okay, protests broke out when dozens of people refused to leave the Watson Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. The city is kicking them out and relocating them to the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal. Mayor Eric Adams has ordered construction of a temporary emergency shelter there for people who are in this country trying to stay here after crossing our southern border.
Holy crap. They're going to go from a luxurious hotel to some slapped together place. Wow. Hell no, we won't go. Man. Wow.
Some of them told reporters conditions will be inhumane and there won't be enough food for them. So they want to leave the high-dollar hotel and go to a structure that the mayor is going to build for them. Brian.
It's outrageous.
So you think that's bad. But then we had a crime problem. See, they
Wait. I want to see the crime problem.
Go to a structure that the mayor is going to build for them. Brian.
It's outrageous.
So you think that's bad. But then we...
Here's the crime problem. Look how it's gone up. Damn. Grand larceny, 48.3%. Rape, felony assaults, robbery, total majority crimes. Oh man, this is bad. People shot. What is this negative? Does that mean it's down? Let's see what he's going to say.
We had a crime problem. See, they did this whole criminal justice reform, and crime on the subways just like went out of control. It was so bad that they had to send the National Guard into the subways just so people felt safe.
Expect to start seeing...
Now, wait a minute. It was okay for them to send in the National Guard to the subways? What? What? Where? The hypocrisy. Oh, we can't send them anywhere else to help ICE or to facilitate... To help the buildings that they're under siege in these other cities across the country. Look, I know this is New York and then Chicago's different, but no. They all are all on the same playbook. They all probably got each other on speed dial, and they all send out the same talking points. They're all defiant of Trump. They're all in the same basket. Just saying.
hundreds of National Guard members throughout the subway system conducting random bag checks.
Governor Kathy Hochul announced that she will now be deploying around 750 National Guard members and around 250 state police troopers to conduct random bag searches at some of the city's busiest subway stations. This comes as subway crime is up 13% compared to 2023, with assaults on the transit system up 11%. According to the NYPD, 2023 had the highest number of subway assaults since at least 1996.
If people are feeling unsafe and won't come, then I have to do something about it.
So when I left...
Oh, wait a minute. Now, why did it spike? Why has it jumped up? Because of all the illegals. You brought in all these people who are unvetted. We don't know who the hell they are. And like Trump administration's been telling us, they've sent us all not their brightest and best. No, they've emptied out their prisons, their insane asylums. They've done all of this, and then they dumped them in these cities. And now the crime has just shot way up. It's insane.
Things were going pretty bad in New York. And on top of that, New York is a very expensive place to live.
We want to get your take, as always. We talk a lot about the cost of living on this show, but that's kind of an abstract concept at this point. Well, a new study aimed to give us some real data for reference. The study comes from the finance company Smart Asset. It defines comfortable as spending 50% of your income on necessities like housing and utilities, 30% for discretionary spending, and then 20% for saving.
Well, that's if you could save.
It feels like good luck when you read those numbers. So how does this all break down in the real world, right? That's what we want to know. According to the study, the average salary needed to live comfortably in a major city is $96,500 for one person, and roughly $235,000 for a family of four.
Yikes.
I mean, I'm sure you get where we're going with this one, right?
Yeah. Yep, New York City is not average, of course. So researchers say a single adult needs to make more than about $138,000 to live. And remember, we're using broad quotes here, comfortably, because a lot of people are doing better on less, right? And a family of four needs more than about $318,000.
Damn!
I mean, what do you do? What do you do here for those looking for more comfortable life financially decisions here? They say you should just move to Texas.
Okay.
What?
Where exactly? Where?
Well, I'll tell you. In El Paso, Lubbock. Okay, all those cities, they require just a single salary of $75,000 to live comfortably. On the other end, New York is number one.
Now, with an average salary from $73,000 to about $80,000 a year.
There's a lot of other cities that are cheaper than that throughout the United States, like Tennessee, probably like North Carolina, places like that, more in the South, would be a lot cheaper to live.
That falls short of the $140,000 roughly needed to live comfortably in New York. And that doesn't tell the full story about the problem in New York, because the poverty rates are on the rise. This is New York City's food bank, and they have some key findings in a study that they performed. 26% of NYC children, 420,000 children, live in poverty. That's more people, That's more people than in Tampa, Florida, Aurora, Colorado, Wichita, Kansas. All have less people in total than New York has children in poverty. And
but it was more important, instead of getting those people, help them get out of poverty, help them find better jobs or create jobs. Nope, you spent, like Trump said the other day, he goes, you know, they always say New York didn't have any money, but I got pin marks on my hands. They said all of a sudden they found $1 billion to spend on the illegals. Like, where the hell he's like, where'd they get this money? He didn't cost. I did. He's like, where did they get this money? Where did they get it? Where did they get this money? Oh, no, but they need more money for their other pet projects, building expanses. My pen is leaking. It's this pen right here. It's like a gel pen, and it's just all over my hands. Oh, well, there you go. Look, there's a spot. That's crazy. Where'd they get this money? They can't take care of their own, but they found $1 billion to spend on these illegals. It's Amazing.
Remember this chart where it says if you want to live comfortably in New York City, it's $318,000 for a family of four? Well, in New York City, 58% of those families make less than $94,000 a year. So there's no way they're living comfortably. And they wouldn't even be living comfortably if they were single. So I don't think I'm breaking any news here. The majority of people in New York City aren't living comfortably. They're living day to day. So now that brings us to New York City's mayoral election. Now you have three very different candidates. First, this is Zohran Mamdani. He is as radical left-wing as you can possibly get in the United States. Now, he's running a kind of Robin Hood campaign. Tax the rich and give to the poor.
Let's talk about free buses. Mr. Mamdani, this is a centerpiece of your campaign. Can you explain how you will make buses free? You have 30 seconds to answer.
Absolutely. We will make buses free by replacing the revenue that the MTA currently gets from buses. This is revenue that's around $700 million or so. That's less money than Andrew Cuomo gave to Elon Musk in $959 million in tax credits when he was the governor. And the reason that we will do so is that making buses free doesn't just provide economic relief, but also public safety. Because what we've seen is that it decreases assaults on bus drivers by 38.9%. New Yorkers deserve more than the slowest buses in the country. I know that because I was on the M57 not too long ago, and its average speed is 4.9 miles an hour.
We're at time, though, but
Oh, wait a second. He said, we're going to do that by replacing the 750,000 with what? What's he replacing it with? He didn't tell us. What's he replacing it with?
The question is how you'll make them free.
We will fund the revenue that would have otherwise been brought in from fares. And that's something that we would do in partnership with Albany. And I've put forward two proposals. The first is to raise taxes on the top 1% of New Yorkers by 2%. That would raise $4 billion. The second is to raise the state's top corporate tax rate to match that of New Jersey, which would raise $5 billion.
So did you get that math?
There it is. There it is. Raise the taxes.
That's $9 billion in new taxes that he wants to impose. And he wants to spend that money. He wants to give people things like free grocery stores and free childcare. He has a wish list and wants to make everything free. Like I said, the Robin Hood campaign.
I'll make buses fast and free.
So I can just get where I'm going.
Get where I'm going.
I'll make childcare available to...
Wait a minute. What the hell is he wearing? Is that some kind of Muslim Islamic garb? What is happening?
All New Yorkers at no cost.
I want to raise my kid in New York.
And I'll freeze the rent for every single rent-stabilized tenant.
Freeze the rent.
Adams rent hikes are killing us.
And that all sounds great. If you're one of those families who are not making $300,000 a year, then his pitch is very attractive. But Zohran is a left-wing lunatic like, when it comes to things like defund the police. Here's what he said in the past.
Given the things that he said just a few years back, which included...
Hopefully it'll stop. Okay, here we go.
Many calls to defund the New York City police and accusations that the NYPD is, quote, these are his words, racist and anti-queer and a major threat to public safety. He said the police were a major threat to public safety, suggesting that they were the ones that were creating a criminal environment, not the people of the streets.
Wait a minute. We don't need an investigation to know that NYPD is racist, anti-queer, and a major threat to public anti-queer. We know he is Muslim. He practices Islam. They want to kill gay people. Gay people are so stupid. These queer, transgender people are just so stupid. These people will kill you. Now, yeah, they're like, oh, we can unite for a common cause, right? But once he gains the power, they're going to crush the other. I mean, it blows my mind that these people either. I'm not an expert on Islam. But I know a smidgen enough to know that their Allah, their Muhammad condemns this. And they have to obey the Quran. I'm just throwing that out there, guys.
He says now, well, that's just because I was frustrated about the death of George Floyd at that time.
Do you think he really gave a shit about George Floyd? He just used this as an excuse to throw out this propaganda? We need to defund the police because of an incident. This guy had so much drugs in his system, he was just a walking, ready to die any moment. Really, I would think his heart's going to explode. Something's going to happen. The toxicology report on this guy was insane. I'm not saying, I don't want to comment on if the cops did wrong or whose fault it was. Forget all of that. I'm just making a point that he really cared. He used, because we all know the left, they never let a tragedy or a crisis go to waste. Remember Wiener? Was he the one that said that? He said they don't ever let it go to waste. So this was to be able to fuel their agenda, and that's what he did. He said he was in a place at the time. Stop it. Just stop it.
And the policies of Mayor Adams.
So they asked Mamdani, hey, Zoran, you said this. Did you really mean it? Are all police racist? You want to be mayor?
They're all racist.
Well, you see, I didn't really mean it that way. Here it is.
Mamdani also said that he has learned over in this running for mayor as to the kind of work.
My statements in 2020 were ones made amidst a frustration that many New Yorkers held at the murder of George Floyd and the inability to deliver on what Eric Adams, of all people, described as the right for all of us to be able to enjoy safety and justice that we need.
So for us all to be able to enjoy safety and justice, I know, defund the police. Defund the police. I got a video I'm probably going to do. I just saw where they want to keep raising the age. You got a, 14-year-old or 13-year-old goes out and tries to kill somebody. They catch them. They put them in the children's services courts, and then they release them right back out. And the drug people are like, hey, and then they get them to go do it again because it's a revolving door. He's all for not lowering the age to put these little turds in prison.
Need not choose between the two.
So you got the ultra high tax, defund the police, everything free guy. He's running as a Democrat. And then you have Andrew Cuomo, Mr. Independent.
I'll hire 5,000 new cops to partner with local community
sounds
groups
good. That sounds
keep
good.
Our families safe. And we'll get the homeless off the streets and into the help they desperately need. New York City has an affordability crisis, but we will rise.
My goodness, we're going to rise up.
I raised it to the highest in the nation as governor.
Oh,
I'll
my
do
goodness.
it here. 500,000 new affordable homes will rise. I did it as the nation's housing secretary. We can do it here. We built new bridges, train stations, and airports, and got through COVID together.
Now he's right. We did get.
Wait, he got through COVID, but didn't he kill a whole bunch of elderly people by taking sick people and putting them in the old folks' homes? That's disturbing.
Through COVID, but it wasn't easy because there was a lot of controversy with Andrew Cuomo and COVID.
After early praise for his leadership as his state became the U.S. epicenter of the pandemic, even writing a book on his leadership and receiving an Emmy for his regular briefings, Governor Andrew Cuomo now under fire from new accusations of underreporting New York nursing home deaths. This after facing backlash over his controversial policy sending infected residents who had been hospitalized with COVID back to nursing homes. Now New York State Attorney General saying there were almost 15,000 COVID nursing home deaths, nearly 50% more than initially reported.
Oh my God. He had to resign as governor because of all the sexual assault allegations.
Now at 4, stunning fall from grace.
15,000 deaths from that? Look, I'm not a doctor, but I know if you're sick, don't go see grandma. Period. So you had people with COVID and you stuck them in an old folks home? I mean, I was under the impression of things like this, the elderly and the young or the people with weak immunity. That is just mind-boggling.
Governor Cuomo resigns under escalating political pressure after the bombshell report accusing him of sexual misconduct.
Now, Zohan is extreme left, and
yes, he's extreme left, and he's extreme left too. So, damn, y'all should be voting for Curtis. What the hell? He's better than these two guys. I don't care if he's a Republican. Damn, what is going on in New York?
Cuomo is now playing that center moderate Democrat role.
Yeah,
and you can see this play out in Cuomo's policies. He's taking the left-wing position of raising the minimum wage to $20 an hour, and he's taking the right-wing position of increasing law enforcement, 5,000 more cops. Then you have Curtis Sliwa, the Republican nominee for mayor from New York City.
Hello, my name is Kevin Rogers.
I am so sorry, this stupid crap.
Sox will be one of the...
Now I'm running against three Democrats. Zoran, who is Bill de Blasio on steroids, and then Zoran Light. That's Cuomo and Eric Adams. All three are Democrats. They share more in common than they have in opposition to one another. I'm the only one saying you got to hire more cops. You got to give them their insurance back. You've got to enforce quality of life issues. None of them are saying that. And by the way, Zoran says give free fare on the buses. I have to laugh. Half the people don't pay the fare to begin with because there's no enforcement. Cuomo, when he was governor, didn't have any enforcement, and Eric Adams hasn't imposed any enforcement. I would. Everybody pays the fare.
Now, no one believes...
Now, once you raise that minimum wage to $20 an hour in New York, if they do that, it's just it's going to be worse. I mean, it's going to or either be the same. So these places are just going to raise their prices, whether it's restaurants or these fast food places. Gosh, all of it, guys. It trickles down to the consumer.
Believes Curtis Sliwa has a shot at being mayor of New York City. Just so we all understand numbers here, in New York City there are 3.3 million registered Democrats and only 500,000 Republican voters. That's about a 6-to-1 advantage.
Yeah.
Now, there have been some Republican mayors who have beaten the odds before, recently Rudy Giuliani and Mike Bloomberg. But here are the most recent polls.
According to a new poll, Andrew Cuomo and Zoran Mamdani would be in a neck-and-neck race if Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa drops out. We're just 15 days from Election Day.
A new poll finds Sliwa could be a make-or-break factor in the race. The data from AARP New York and Gotham Polling and Analytics shows Mamdani in the lead with 43%, ahead of Cuomo at 29% and Sliwa at 19%. If Sliwa drops out, the poll determined Cuomo would jump to just 4 points behind Mamdani.
Would you ever think in a million years after 9/11 that New York City would be electing a Muslim? Let that sink in.
Within the margin of error.
Now, Sliwa says he's not going anywhere. He's not dropping out.
So please, I'm here in New York City. I was born in New York City. They tried to kill me in New York City. I will die in New York City. I will be buried in New York City. I know what's in the best interest of New York City. I'm not dropping out because some billionaires have vertigo. And by the way, they may know Wall Street, they may know hedge funds. They don't know anything about the streets of New York City.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Curtis Sliwa has a day job. And his day job, he's a radio host on 77 WABC. He's been doing that for decades. And not only are the other hosts of radio talk saying he should drop out, but even the boss of the network has publicly said he needs to drop out of the race.
Sliwa blew a gasket on the Sid and Friends radio show after host Sid Rosenberg and billionaire station owner John Catsimatidis said he should put his ego aside and get out of the race for the good of the city.
Curtis should pull out. Right now, we cannot take a chance. We cannot take a chance on Zoran winning. And the fact is that every common sense New Yorker, I think, feels the same way.
So now Curtis Sliwa quit his job because he's not going to quit the race even if his boss is pressuring him to.
Turning now to the mayor's race, where in an acrimonious blow-up, Curtis Sliwa quit his radio job after his boss and station regulars begged him to drop out of the race.
So now the New York's mayor's race is crazy. You have literally the left-wing extreme, defund the police, let everybody out of prisons die, everything free socialist who wants to make New York York City into a socialist utopia.
And apparently he wants to shut down Rikers Island. What is he going to do with all of them? Move them to another prison? Or are they going to just go through and say, well, okay, well, you served 10 years and you killed somebody. We're just going to let you out. I don't know. What the hell? He's going to close it down. What's he going to do with them?
Then you move from far left to center where you got Andrew Cuomo. Hey, I like some of the far left guys' ideas, and I like some of the far right guys' ideas. So vote for me because I'm a mix of the two. And then you have Curtis Sliwa, who is just Republican all the way, make America great again. And he has no chance because Democrats outnumber Republicans 6-1. Everyone knows it, even his bosses who are telling him he needs to get out the race. So 2 weeks to the New York City mayoral election. Who do you think is going to win? Now, my prediction is I think Mamdani is got it. I think he's going to win. I think he has a momentum. I think he has the D, which is Democrat by his name, and I think it's going to be hard to beat him. And it's either between Mamdani or Cuomo. I think Sliwa has no chance. And my last thought is I would actually like Mamdani to win, to see it all fall apart. Give them what they asked for. That's what happened with the migrant crisis, right? Governor Abbott gave them what they wanted. They said, we want migrants. He sent them the migrants. And then they said, oh my God, state of emergency.
Tonight, the mayor of the largest city in the country saying the migrant crisis is pushing the city to the brink, declaring a state of emergency.
Our right to shelter laws, our social services, and our values are being exploited by others for political gain. New Yorkers are angry. I am angry too.
And that's what I mean. I think the best way to let people see the light is let them experience their own bad policies. Defund the police and let everybody out of jail with no consequences, crime explodes. The migrants, as you just saw, they suffered under their own policies. And if they believe Mamdani's policies are going to help the city and move it forward, then hell, let it be. Let the voters vote them in. And when they suffer, they will hopefully then see the light. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, do like.
Well, I think a problem is with that is he lets them out of jail. Maybe they're not going to stay in New York. They're going to branch out to the rest of us. But I see his point by letting it play out. I mean, I think that's what got Giuliani elected a long time ago, where the crime was just rampant. The city was almost bankrupt. They spent all the money. They were asking the government for money. The president and them said no. And then everything was just collapsing. And then, boom, you get Giuliani. Y'all can go research this because, it was a long time ago. But Giuliani cleaned up the city. They were arresting people. They cleaned up the city. The city was running great. And I think this is what happens a lot of times is that we're doing so well, maybe give the other guy a chance. Why do you do that? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Oh, no. So New York has forgotten about 9/11. New York has forgotten about all these past mayors doing socialist, dim left-wing Democrat policies, which made the city bankrupt. You had poor leaders. And then you have a new generation now that's in New York that has forgotten about 9/11. And how the hell did Mamdani even get on the ticket? It just blows my mind. So that's amazing. And there you have it. There you have it.